Why use AI mode? This comes up a lot. People say, well, why can't we just search? And I think that's a attractive answer for things where search is pretty straightforward. But there's a lot of things where search is not straightforward. And I think it also overestimates how good most people are at search. I'll give you an example here of some of the pitfalls of search. So this is something that came across my feed. I've mocked it up, to protect the innocent or guilty of people that share it. It's about the Dogon people, and it's this claim that they discovered a star system, the binary star system of Sirius, including the star Sirius B, which is a white dwarf not visible to the naked eye, right? Not visible to the naked eye. And that they also knew about the rings of Jupiter, not visible to the naked eye, and the rings of Saturn, not visible to the naked eye. And that they learned this in their mythology. Wait for it. If you know the ancient aliens, guys, you know where this is going. They learned about it in their mythology from a visitor, right? It's some ancient transition of some knowledge that's thousands of years old. Now, the truth is that the Dogon were amazing astronomers. That's not in doubt. Amazing astronomers. But the question is, did they know about Sirius B, the white dwarf, not visible until, not spotted until by telescope sometime, I forget, like in the 1860s or something like that? Did they know about that, right? Previous to being told about it? And is that maybe a sign of some sort of ancient aliens, alien contact, etc.? So you see something like this, and maybe you do what a lot of people do, and you type in, did the Dogon know about Sirius B? And here's what you get back. And you get this from AI Overview. It says, yeah, they did. Okay. So I'll tell you this right now. I'll just, spoiler, right? I'll just tell you, they didn't, right? They didn't know about Sirius B. I mean, if you talk to any astronomer, if you talk to the anthropologists that know them, if you talk to the Dogon people themselves, they did not know about Sirius B until contact with Westerners. They just didn't. The anthropological research that is recent says that that's the case. The older anthropological research was probably contaminated by earlier contact and possibly by leading questions by the researcher, right? So that's the truth of it, and this here is not the truth. In fact, the leading anthropologists on the Dogon people say they don't really have any traditions about Sirius B, right? All these traditions they supposedly had in the 1930s, they don't actually appear to exist. So the AI Overview here is wrong. But, it's not getting there itself, right? It's wrong here, right? The fact they knew Sirius B existed here is coming through Reddit. The Sirius mystery, the assertion that Dogon knew of another star, Dogon and the Sirius star, Dogon folklore maintains that the knowledge of Sirius, Temple claims that the Dogon know the period of Sirius B to be 50. If you're reading this and you're an average person, you are going to believe that the Dogon knew about Sirius B, right? Now, of course, if you type a different question in, is the Dogon know about Sirius B thing fake? You get that it's almost certainly a modern fabrication, right? And then you get a different Reddit, right? Which says, is there any truth to this? And this one's in Ask Anthropology, and it's almost certainly a hoax, right? And then you get a different set of things here, right? Including from Jason Colavito, who's an expert in sort of the bogus ancient aliens thing, like an entirely different set of search results that are good. Actually, this set of search results will get you there, right? But it's really fundamentally dependent on what you put, right? On what you put in this box here. And it's invisible to people. People don't know that they went down the wrong road. So they're like, oh, search is great. I found the answer. Well, okay, but did you end up on this path or did you end up on the other path? You don't know because you don't know what the alternative was, right? You don't know if you ended up on the right search path or the wrong search path because all you know is what ended up on that path. Now, if we go back here and we go AI overview, I do not recommend AI overview for things. And it's not because of this silly, like, glue on cheese pizza thing. It's just that I think it gets a lot of things wrong. I think it's very influenced by the search results. And sometimes the search results are full of a lot of bunk, right? That's my opinion. If we just take that question and go into AI mode, what do we get? Same question. It's highly unlikely they knew about Sirius B before it was discovered by Western astronomers, right? And it lays out the problem in the debunking evidence. Here's the thing. People want the comparison of an AI result, right? They wanted to make that comparison, the comparison between the AI result and perfect knowledge of the world, right? A perfect answer, a theoretical perfect answer. But the real comparison is what a person comes to understand through an AI result versus what a person would come to understand through search. That's the comparison that you make. You can't make a comparison against some sort of idealized universe. You have to make it against the two options that we have. One is to come to your knowledge through search. Another is to at least initially come to your knowledge through an AI response. I see these sorts of things all the time. I could do a dozen of these. I also see some really big errors that AI mode makes. I could do a dozen of those. But neither of those is really the definitive word. And I think it would do if we could all be a little less definitive about this stuff.